Floor and Decor.
Thanks for staying with us on GTU. The University of Utah is on a mission to educate our community on preventing type 2 diabetes. Exercise specialist Jordan Harris joining me now, and we do know diabetes is so prevalent across the country.
Yeah, it's actually estimated that almost 90 million Americans in the United States are at risk for diabetes or have prediabetes, which is significant. And a lot of people, in fact, 9 out of 10 don't actually know that they are at risk or understand that they're pre-diabetic.
Well, and it runs in my family. I think Asians are at higher risk, and my sister is pre-diabetic. We both had gestational diabetes when we were pregnant. What would you like to tell people, and what's the message when it comes to pre-diabetes?
I think a lot of people are unsure what pre-diabetes is. So in a nutshell, pre-diabetes is when your blood sugar is higher than it should be, but it's not quite to the point where you're a diabetic, and once you're diabetic, it causes lifelong damage to your body. So understanding your risk or your family history, like you mentioned, is really important. So if you've had gestational diabetes, that's definitely a risk factor. It puts you at risk for developing diabetes, but also things like if your grandmother, mother, fathers develop type 2 diabetes, those are important things to be aware of.
And being pre-diabetic doesn't necessarily mean it's a diagnosis to diabetes.
Correct.
There are ways and there are things you can do to prevent it for a lifelong journey.
Sure. So if you discover that you are pre-diabetic, there's some basic things that you can do that are actually really simple. Some of them focus on increasing your physical activity, being more mindful of the food that you're eating. And if you are overweight, moderate weight loss, so about 5 to 7% of weight loss, can significantly decrease your risk for developing diabetes in the future.
And would you say monitoring it too, maybe going to see the doctor and getting tested more frequently?
Yes. Most physicians, when you do like an annual checkup, they'll do what's called an A1C test. And that looks at your current level of blood sugar over the past 3 months. It's really simple, you get really fast results, and it's really easy to do.
If you are diabetic and you have type 2, what are some of the things that you would suggest and what someone would need to do to kind of maintain so it doesn't get worse?
So if you do get to the point where you're a type 2 diabetic, being physically active and very mindful of your diet is important, especially watching your carbohydrate intake. As far as physical activity goes, there's not really anything that is better or worse. However, if you can focus a lot on walking, that's something that significantly improves your circulation in your legs, because we see with people that have type 2 diabetes, they get foot sores and poor circulation. So walking is something that almost everyone can do and is very beneficial if you're type 2 diabetic.
And you're a trainer, you train other coaches. What do you tell them?
So everyone's story with diabetes is unique. Everyone has a personal relationship with it. And to really help people prevent type 2 diabetes, it's important for the lifestyle coach to understand where the person's coming from and what their background brings. And helping people look at their lives and see what are the changes that I can make, whether it may be a little bit of weight loss or focusing on my diet, helping people identify those.
Jordan, thank you so much. And there's a plethora of information on your website as well. You can find them on Facebook and Twitter and on the web, and we'll have a link on our website, abc4.com/GTU. Thank you, Jordan Harris from the U of U. All right, we'll be right back.